Hey Peter, welcome to the Community Living Golf event. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through, put you back in your dress position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, let's first of all just take a look at your posture. You got your spine here straight and on a tilt. Your legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Your arms are sort of held in along or close to your chest or rib cage. Then your forearms work out a bit, and then your club gets out to the ball. So, I mean, your posture is pretty decent. It's a little tall, and you're positioning yourself a little too close to the ball. So if I were going to work on your golf game, and we're going to look at your posture and your balance, first thing I do is I push your tail out and up. Whoop. Not sure why that line straightened. I'd push your tail out and up. I'd move your chest out forward and up. And ultimately what that would do is it would just straighten the spine and it would increase the angle. From there you can keep your legs unlocked as they are because they're fantastic. And then from there your arms can hang straight down without resting on your body. And then the club can work out to the ball. But you can see that the yellow stick person here is further away from the ball than the red. So right now you're too tall and you're sitting back on your heels. So you're too congested to the ball. We need you more athletic ready on the balls of your feet and having you rocking forward towards the ball. So you have to be further away in order to do that. And what we're also going to see, you're going to have a lot of elevation change in your spine and movement of your head on the way back and the way down. So likely what's going to happen is you're going to dive into the ball, increase the spinal tilt, head's going to move towards the ball, and then as you come back to impact, you're going to be pulling away. And we'll take a look at that in a few seconds. Let's go ahead and do a little, actually, you know what? Let me actually get rid of that. Meant to take a look at your alignment. And what we can see with your alignment is your feet are closed. So you're set up a little out to the right. Theoretically, your club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet. Parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of conversion. So we're set up at the right edge of the fairway, meeting the right rough. Center of the fairway is over here, so we're going to have to see some form of a compensation to get the ball back to yellow. So let's go ahead and do a split screen comparison between you and Brandt Snedeker. And we can see some color-coded lines on the screen here. They're just here as a visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. Before we go ahead and take a look at the dynamic motion, let's just pay attention to the posture. So see how Snedeker's sternum and head are a little bit more out over his toes. There's an increase to the angle of the spine, but he's more athletic ready on the balls of his feet towards the ball. So he's a little further away and rocking forward. So hopefully you can see that, and that's what I was sort of talking about. Also look at the alignment. See how your feet are going out to the right? His are running parallel to his club face. So at this point in time, when we take a look at the golf swing, simply want to create good shoulder rotation, draw the arms and hands back as well as the club. And we're going to see the club coming back directly along the red line. So the club's coming back on proper swing plane. At this point in time, he's going to start to establish some good wrist hinge into play, working the club head from below to above his hands. And then we're going to work the club from red up to yellow. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we've got the left arm of the club situated on the yellow line. We have full shoulder rotation, and we do this about a very stable right leg, keeping the weight on the inside part of our right foot. As we watch you initiate your takeaway here, you draw your hands back really nicely, turning your shoulders, and the club's coming back on a really nice plane. So everything looks really, really good at this stage of your golf swing. At this point in time, we want to start to see some wrist hinge into play, which we do. Club's still in great position, and we're going to work this golf club to the top. When we finally work the golf club to the top, we can see a little excess run on with your arms, and an overswing with the golf club. You don't get that far out of position, so you're still in a pretty decent geometric location with respect to your arms. You have good turn, stable right side. I mean, things at this point in time look pretty good. As we go ahead and create our transition back into the ball, simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left, fire our knees and our hips to the target, unwind our core, and fire our hands. And in doing so, we have to bring the club from yellow back down on top of red. And that's exactly what we see here with Snedeker. We see that the golf club has returned right back to plane. The other thing we want to point out at this stage of the golf swing is the relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. Refer to this as the backwards check mark. Simply means that the club head is remaining above and behind his hands, coming into the hitting zone. Therefore, he's retaining angle. And this is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power in our golf swing, let alone being able to hit the ball straight due to the fact that the club is returned to plane, as we already pointed out. With your transition back in the ball, your hands come over the top. They're traveling down blue, and that's going to have a major influence on the golf club. Now I can see here you're really fighting to keep that club back in behind you. So at this point in time, we can go ahead and we can take a look at your lead forearm and your golf club, and we can see that you have your backwards check mark. So that's great. So creating power in your golf swing won't be that much of an issue. The only problem is that the club has not returned back to plane. So your club shaft is coming in a little steep, needs to be a little bit more laid off, and your hands and arms are located a little too far out in front of you because of that over the top move. So theoretically, your right elbow should be behind you a little bit more, and your hand should sort of be back over in this direction, and then the club shaft would be working back onto that plane line as such. So as we continue to come into the ball, very simply put, you're going to fight to get that club back onto the red line. Whereas Snedeker's already there, then he just continues to track into the golf ball directly from the red line. So he's going to be able to very easily hit a straight golf shot in accordance to his alignment, assuming that the club face squares up via having a good grip. So there's three things we need to be consistent and hit a ball straight. We have to aim well. We have to bring the club down on plane. And the club face has to square up. So with you, you're coming into the ball. Let's go to the next frame. You can see that club never really hits the plane line. So it would be coming into the ball as such, never hits the red line until probably just before impact here. So this descending plane now influences the swing path. And we can simply see Snedeker's club is slightly inside the ball before he strikes it. The club expands out to make contact. Club moves through in a nice natural subtle arc. Your club is slightly outside the ball. It drops down and across to make contact. So very simply put, your club is on an out to in path. Therefore, if we square the face to this swing path, we will hit the ball in this direction. Now let's go back to your address position for a second. I originally stipulated to you that your feet were in a closed stance. We are aiming out in this direction. We're set up to hit the ball at the right edge of the fairway. I mentioned that the center of the fairway was over here, and we're going to create a compensation to try and get the ball there. Well, this is your compensation. You very simply try to attack the ball from outside to inside. This allows you to hopefully pull the ball down red and keep it at yellow. The only problem with this is if you over-release the club, the ball will start at yellow, but then it has right to left spin, and then the ball is going to draw or hook, and you're going to hit a pull draw or pull hook, and it's going to go too far left. If the club face remains open, it won't start as far left, and then it has left to right spin, and you're going to hit what's referred to as a pull slice. If the timing's perfect, then the ball sort of stays out towards yellow. You might have a little bit of a pull fade on it or a little bit of a pull draw, but neither one of those shots are going to hurt you. So reality is when we swing a golf club from out to in along the yellow path through impact, the end result of your golf shot is dictated by the timing of the club face. If we over-release the club, it's going to follow the yellow arrows. We under-release it, it's going to follow the blue arrows. And if we time it properly, it's going to follow the red arrow. It's going to be basically pulled back online, and you're going to hit what's referred to as a pull straight shot or a slight pull fade or pull draw, which is not going to hurt you. But this requires a lot of timing on your part through impact to precisely put the proper club face position on that ball. We can see the ball is being pulled back towards the yellow flag, and again, depending on what that club face did, will be indicative of what happens to that golf ball. As you carry yourself through a really nice finishing position. You get up on the toe of your right foot. That allows your hips to square around, shoulders to fully rotate, and finishing position looks really, really good. Overall, your athletic quality in your golf swing is amazing. Looks awesome. Your hands come back, they fire through. Your core works well, you coil back, you uncoil through. You've got great footwork that allows you to get through a finish. Everything's looking really, really good, very athletic. But if we want to be consistent, we have to have three things. We have to aim well, we have to bring the club down on plane, and we have to square the club face. I can actually see here, and I'm going to point this out as well, your grip is strong. Now, strong does not relate to the pressure that you're applying to the golf club. Your right hand is rotated too far underneath the club. When our right hand is rotated too far underneath the club, the effect on the club face is it's going to close the club face. So, in summary, you're aiming out to the right. You have to make compensations to get the ball back to the left. The two compensations that you're making are your grip is strong, that will shut the face and help get that ball going to the left. We also have an over-the-top move. So we're swinging the club from out to in, trying to pull the ball back online. So you're going to hit a lot of what I refer to are their pull draws. So we're aiming out to the right and we're trying to pull draw the ball back to the left. And if the timing's good, you're going to hit good golf shots. But when the timing's off, that's where you're going to see your left to right tendencies. Okay? If you can improve your alignment, improve your downswing plane, and get a good grip, you can be a really consistent ball striker because your athletic ability is phenomenal. And but you do have to definitely fix up your alignment, your downswing plane, and your grip in order to be consistent. And then amalgamate that with the fact that you have great athleticism in your golf swing. Okay? Anyways, if at any point in time you'd like to work on any of these aspects in your golf game, certainly feel free to reach out. All my contact information is at the end of the video. I'm out at Glen Abbey over in Oakville, and be happy to set up some lessons with you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all, looking to provide your guests with a unique gift, certainly feel free to touch base and we can discuss those services. Anyways, I hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. Hope you have a great summer, and maybe we might hear from you at some point in time.